Hi, it's Stephanie and welcome back to my channel, and today we're going to do something really different. So there are two writing craft books that are wonderful for my brain. That is Romancing the Beat by Gwen Hayes and Save the Cat Writes a Novel by Jessica Brody. These two books have drastically changed the way that I look at stories, the way that I create stories, and there are so many beat sheets and cheat sheets for Save the Cat Writes a Novel, and there's a whole bunch for Romancing the Beat, but there's none that combine the two. And that's what my brain needs, because I write fantasy, but I write romance and fantasy, and I'm working on a fantasy romance right now, and I need both of these, but I need them interwoven to figure out where exactly these scenes should go or where they are going. Because right now I'm just kind of jumbling around and I'm jumping around to different scenes and then just rearranging to where I think that they should go. But I kind of want like a cheat sheet or a checklist or something. So today's goal is to make one and provide it for all of you. Because I cannot be the only one who is struggling to find something that combines these two. I know I'm not the only fantasy romance writer. I know I'm not the only paranormal romance writer. And this is great when it's just for a romance that has no other elements to it other than the romance. So like contemporary romance, possibly historical romance. But with fantasy and paranormal, you kind of have to have some sort of external plot. This is very great for internal and characterization, as to where this is really great for the plot itself. And I need it together, because there's so many things in my head for this story that deal with the external plot, but I also love characterization, and I can't get interested in a story if I'm not connected to the characters. So that's why I think both of these are super important, because while characters are important and plot is important together, I don't know where I'm going with this. But anyways, so today's goal is to come up with a cheat sheet or worksheet of some sort that has all of these beats interwoven together and kind of just like a guideline of where they probably should go in your story. Obviously, people write things differently. You don't have to write every single beat that's in here or in here. It's just a guideline. So that's what we're going to work on. And I'm going one step further, and I want to do a like worksheet for a standalone / overall series arc type of thing. And then I need to also do like a cheat sheet for each book in a series, because I'm currently writing a series and not every single one of the romance beats are going to end up in book one. They're going to be sprinkled out throughout the series. So it's driving me nuts, but it needs to be done because I need this cheat sheet, and I'm willing to bet that there are others out there who need this too. So come work with me and let's get this going.
Please don't beat around the bush, and I don't wanna push, but you're making this hard. I know something's going on. There's dishes in the sink and trash in the front yard. Tell me, what can I do? Do I go for a walk? Should I stay with you? I'm tired of sitting on my hands, watching what I love wilt like a houseplant. Do you feel alone in our home? 'Cause I feel alone in our home.
So as I've been going through the Romancing the Beats and the Save the Cat Writes a Novel beats, I started to put them into my current draft to see how it works, and somehow I'm missing 100 words, and I know that's like not a lot, but it's gonna bother me. I have no idea where those 100 words. I don't know if I just did the math wrong on one of the days that I entered in the words that I did on that day for Nano or what, but okay. Anyways, I'm just gonna try and forget about those 100 words that I'm missing or not missing and just it is a typo. I have no idea. It's been a month, guys, okay? Anyways, so I am trying to figure out if this is gonna work. I want it to work. I kind of like need it to work, but I really don't know. So I guess I'm just like, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 or 10 scenes that I've already written, and I'm trying to figure out where they go, and I'm trying to figure out what scenes to put in between them, because some of them are in, you know, the first setup, some of them are in like debate, and there's nothing in between, and it's just, writing's hard, guys. This is why I try to do a whole bunch of plotting beforehand, but then I get really excited while I'm doing the brainstorming, and I just go ahead and start writing without actually like trying to structure anything, and then my brain has to figure it out afterwards. So I guess with me trying to figure out how to combine Romancing the Beat and Save the Cat together, I'm hoping that'll help future me in, you know, later on with other projects, but present me is kind of like really pissed off at myself. Because am I doing this as a procrastination tactic, or am I doing this because I really do need this kind of structure? In the long run, I think this kind of structure will be very beneficial. It's just trying to get it to work right now. And a part of me kind of just wants to minimize this Scrivener project, open a new one, put the beats like in where I think they should go, and then fill in possible scenes. Maybe I should just start from scratch for that, just to figure out where I should have. I don't know. When 15-year-old me was sitting in homeroom or in science class not paying attention and writing in her notebook and writing new stories upon new stories, or I guess scenes or blips of ideas that could potentially be future stories, I guess 15-year-old me never really realized how much work and brain power that this exciting hobby and career actually take out of you. And I wouldn't have it any other way. Like, I still, even when I am struggling, and by struggling I mean hardcore on the struggle bus, wanting to just give up, I don't, because this is my biggest passion. I cannot see my life without writing. Today, we are going to be going on a little journey together, and we are going to be working on my fantasy romance, Project Violet. Specifically, I want to get a whole bunch of prep work done because I really want to try fast drafting this. I have been posting parts of it on Kindle Vella, and by parts of it I mean like the beginning portion is on Kindle Vella, because what I like about Kindle Vella is that you can put your first draft. It doesn't have to be perfect, and it's supposed to help with getting feedback, building your readership type of thing. It's basically kind of like Wattpad, but Amazon's version, and the writers get compensated for their episodes read. And so it's been nice. However, the further I write into it, the more I'm thinking of the beginning and how I can get that better. And I kind of want to fast draft it, get all of it written, and yeah, but I'm sorry, I kind of like lost track as to what I was going to be saying. So I want to do a whole bunch of like outlining and prepping, and so today I'm going to be researching the best way to outline a fantasy romance. And I see a whole bunch of videos on how to write fantasy and how to write romance, or like how to outline fantasy and how to outline romance, and not a whole lot that combine the two, because it is for sure a fantasy romance. It's not a fantasy with a romance subplot. It is a romance in a fantasy world, and the driving plot will be the romance, but there's a lot of fantasy elements that I need to put in there. It's probably going to be 50% fantasy novel, 50% romance novel. That is my preference of books. I love half of it to be romance and half of it to be plot that isn't part of the romance. And my favorites are fantasy romance, or fantasy. So I really, really want to get this project done, and ideally I'd like to have it fast drafted before camp, but if I at least use the majority of the next couple of weeks to at least get my novel prepared, maybe I can just fast draft it in April for Camp Nano. I do have the first, I think, 8,000 or 9,000 words written. However, I've been percolating on if the beginning should be a little bit different. Because right now it's getting like the dark grittiness that I want, but it's also feeling like it's going super fast. So I need to work on that, and so that's what we're going to be doing today. Today we're gonna have a couple of announcements, but I'll probably do that at the end. But today we are going to be working on my outline. I know I started doing a vlog of this sometime last week, and I never got a chance to finish it because the kids it's been chaos in this household this past couple of weeks. I printed out a whole bunch of research on fantasy writing and fantasy romance writing and world building, and I have come to the conclusion that what I started writing for Project Violet, which has a working title, The Violet Hour, on Kindle VELLA, that I started in the wrong spot. Why do I keep doing this? I basically started it either halfway through Act 1 or like the beginning of Act 2. There is almost an entire act that needs to happen before the very first scene / episode that I wrote for The Violet Hour. So how am I going to do that with the whole Kindle VELLA? I'm not sure yet. But today, I really want to fast draft this novel, and I really would like it done by April 30th. So I want to use this for Camp Nano, but I want the entire manuscript, the entire first draft done by April 30th, and I want to fast draft it. And I know that the only way for me to be able to accomplish that is for me to have a roadmap of where this story is going. Because from just winging it and having just a couple of ideas of where I'm taking it, it's not working for me. It is just not working. It's not being I'm not being consistent with it, and I need to just go with the chaos of my brain, and I need to get down what I think is going to happen. And if it changes while I'm drafting, that is fine. I am okay with that. But I need some sort of goal to get there. Just some sort of idea on not how to get there, but like where it's going. All right, so let me get this out of the way. So I started working on this. Oh my gosh, it's a mess over here. I started working on an outline last Thursday, I believe. I don't know. I don't even know what day it is. It's Wednesday today. Yeah, I think it was last Thursday I was working on this outline. And I have Number one, I think I have finally figured out how to merge Save the Cat Writes a Novel, those beats, along with Romancing the Beat. So I have created a template, which I will be sharing, kind of. And I have it to where I have a template for like a standalone or a series arc type thing. And then I have them broken down into trilogies. And why trilogies when I know that this series is actually going to be longer? Trilogies because it's kind of taking a direction that Sarah J. Maas is doing with her ACOTAR series, which is the first 3 books were focused on one romance arc, and her next 3 books are focused on a different romance arc. But it's the same world, number one, and 2, there's still, all the other characters are still going to be within it because there's still an entire series arc that needs to be accomplished. But the actual romance arcs I'm dealing with in trilogies. And so I have this idea that it's going to be a 9-book series with a possible spinoff. And each trilogy will be focused on a specific romance. So the 2 main characters in the first 3 books will be Rosalind and Oren. And then in the second 3 books, it'll be Harlan and Bash. And then the third set of books would be Elena and Gemma. And that's how I'm thinking it's going to go. I've been pretty sure about that for a while. So I have, I think, all of Act 1 outlined with a couple scenes that I need to add, but I don't know what to put yet. So I just put another scene with so-and-so. But I have pretty much the setup done, which has the opening image, the intro to the second hero, the theme stated, the meet cute, and I need to add another scene or 2 for that. I have the catalyst picked out. I have the debate, which includes the no way, a couple of scenes. Actually, I have 1, 2. I think I just need to come up with one more scene for the debate. I have like 5 or 6 scenes there. The break into 2, which I am having as the adhesion plot thrust from the Romancing the Beat. And I have that figured out, which is actually episode number 2. So where the first episode starts in Kindle Vella is literally the last scene in the debate portion of Act 1, which is literally like 5% away from being Act 2. So I have an entire act that I have plotted out that goes before what I started writing in Kindle Vella. And then in Act 2, I have some of the fun and games mapped out. However, the fun and games takes about 30% of your novel, and I know I don't have enough scenes for that yet, so I need to work on those scenes. I have no idea what the midpoint is going to be. I have that blank at the moment. I have like the All Is Lost beat figured out, and I have the Dark Night of the Soul figured out. And I have the final image. I don't have a midpoint. I need to get a midpoint done today. Like, I have to figure that out. And I need to figure out like 7 or 8 more scenes to put into this outline. And then I think I have a pretty decent idea of where this story is going and be able to actually fast draft this. I'm feeling really good about this. So it's like 4 pages long right now. So I did make templates for what I'm using, and I am going to be providing them because I have been struggling. I know that there are so many romance writers out there who use Romancing the Beat, and I know that there are so many other people out there who use Save the Cat, but there is nothing out there that combines the 2 beats together, or not the 2 beats, but like the 2 beat sheets together. And one of the biggest struggles I was having was how to put the Romancing the Beat scenes into the Save the Cat, because when you're writing a romance novel, one, you have to have those romance beats, but when you're writing a romance novel that takes place in a fantasy world, there are other beats that you need to hit. And the only thing that I could think of was to combine the Save the Cat beat sheet with the Romancing the beat sheet and merge it together to fit what I needed. And there was nothing out there for it. So I merged them myself. And I think I have it set up pretty well. I just have to finish putting in like the descriptions. I have all of the descriptions for what the Save the Cat beats are supposed to be from the various Jessica Brody talks that I have listened to and read. And I just have to put in what the Romancing the Beat descriptions, like what that beat is supposed to encapsulate. But I will be providing all 4 of those documents on my new Patreon page, which I will link down below. I've been toying with doing a Patreon page for a while now. There is a lot that goes into it, and there's a lot that I've been trying to figure out how to do. But I'm very excited to start the whole Patreon page. There will be 4 different tiers. Every tier will be able to access the resource library that I am putting together, which will include my templates that I create and then any other source that I have found useful that I think you would find useful. So there will be a resource library that right now seems very small, but I'm in the middle of collecting it all and putting it in I want it to be like on a website page of my website, which is under construction at the moment. But as of right now, you can access that on Patreon. There is also a Discord community, which I have for everyone, but there is a separate Discord area, a separate Patreon area within the Discord community that just the Patreons can go to. And that is where there will be, I'm planning on doing like a craft book club, or maybe not even just a craft book club, but like maybe something that I need to research myself, and we can do that as a book club. But I think I want to at least start with the craft books because I have so many that I need to read. And that's where like the discussions will be. Anyways, also on the Patreon, I am hoping to start doing a monthly live stream where we would do productivity sprints, and it'll be only for the patrons. It'll only be for the patrons. And then there's also I will also be putting my Kindle Vella stuff up on Patreon. That will be on all of the tiers as well. I can't do it on a free type of thing, like I can't put it on Wattpad or anything, because since it's already on Kindle Vella, the only way that I can share it with others to read who either don't read Kindle Vella or are out of the country and can't access Kindle Vella is if it's on some sort of paid subscription type of thing. Or not even a subscription, but it has to be paid. It's under some sort of clause in the Kindle Vella. So that was the whole reason why I wanted to even set up the Patreon, was so that people who either don't like Amazon, or they don't like the Kindle Vella, or they don't want to try Kindle Vella, or they're international and they can't access Kindle Vella because Kindle Vella is only for the US. At least now it'll be on my Patreon, so as long as you subscribe to my Patreon page, you can see all of my Kindle Vella episodes, and that'll be for any tier. All the links are down below if you want to go ahead and join. But let's get going on this outline so that I can finally start fast drafting this, because I need this book done. It needs to get out of my brain, and I need it done so that I can start on the whole publishing process, because that is the goal, that is the dream. I have already made a deal with my brother that a book is being published sometime this year, because there has been this ongoing joke with him that I don't have anything finished. And I am breaking that this year. This needs to be done. It needs to be, I need to just stop being scared, and I need to just do it. So that is what we are here to do.
Seems like just the other day I'd see your face and know what to say. Now I'm staring at the ground, stepping over eggshells spread all around. So tell me, what can I do? Do I tiptoe around to pick up a broom? Can we sweep up this mess, or did we make a minefield out of our dress? Do you feel alone in our home?
Okay, so it is the next day. I did a little bit of work on outlining yesterday. I ended up printing out, it's 4 pages, and I still don't really know what the midpoint is going to be yet, but I think I will worry about that the closer I get to it. So I think I'm going to do this in blocks, or not blocks, but like in like the major Save the Cat beats. So I'm going to work on setup, and then I'm going to see how that is working, and then I'll worry about the catalyst and debate, see how that's working, see if I need to tweak anything to the outline going forward, and so on and so forth. I did come up with a slight idea of what's happening in each book, and I did write that down. I'm not going to put it too close, but I have it separated by color with the different relationship arcs. And I feel pretty confident on what's happening with book 1 and then into book 2. Book 3 might change a little bit, and books 4 through 9, it's still really up in the air. I know how I want to end the series. And I know how I want to end book number 3, which is the very first ending of the first set of books in this series. I don't know if that's making any sense. Anyway, so that is what I did yesterday. I could do more right now, but I feel like if I do much more outlining, it's going to hinder me. I might do a little bit more character work just to work on like the flaws and their goals today, but ultimately I want to get back to writing and start fast drafting this. I'm thinking that this is going to be about 60 to 70,000 words for the first draft. At least that's what I'm aiming for. So if I can write 10,000 words a week, I can roughly get that done in 6 to 7 weeks, which would put me at the end of April, which is the goal. So that's what I'm hoping to do. I talked a little bit about my Patreon in yesterday's clip. I just wanted to go ahead and I'm going to I'm going to show the graphics that I posted.
To sound, the one that's coming from your mouth. Don't mean to turn it upside down. I really wanna hear you out. I can't know how it is.
This journey has had a lot of highs and a lot of lows. Probably more lows than highs. However, it is a dream come true to even try to pursue this. And with being a full-time mom to 2 littles, and with the world how it is and whatnot, I have so much gratitude for everyone who even shows the littlest of support. But with that being said, I'm going to round off this outlining vlog. If you like this video, please give it a big thumbs up. It really does help, and it shows me that you like this kind of content. And if you haven't already, but you would like to, go ahead and smash that subscribe button. I would love you forever for it. But until next time, bye.
Can we work it out? Only time will tell. It's gonna take a lot, 'cause we've been through hell. I can't be without you. I've tried and I failed. So can we